Hey, it's Mike again, Old Religion Dystopia with his son Chase. Say hi, Chase.
Hi.
You're supposed to say hi, Chase. You didn't get it, did you? Say hi, Chase.
Hi, face.
There you go, we got it. Haha. Anyways, we're going to do some more reading out of Adventures Beyond the Body, How to Experience Out of Body Travel. We're in part 2 of The New Frontier, in which they're talking about quantum mechanics, physics, and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, a couple things. I started doing the live thing about Loose Thread, and it says Richard Dolan's interview with one of the authors. Anyways, I got into it a little bit. I said, maybe I ought to read that before I really share that. Only because there's a lot of people out there in the cryptid community and the UFO community and the Bigfoot community, especially the big names that for gatekeepers. So I'm going to make sure I'm not just sharing more of gatekeeping. Now, saying that, what we're reading here from William Buhlman, some people would say the same thing about William, but I don't know. I think you can read between the lines with this one. So anyways, and so we'll put the old image up. Hey, thanks for people subbing to my channel, by the way. I'm up to a whopping 310 subs. Thank you.
Right now?
I'm recording. I'm not live streaming.
Oh.
I could live stream, but I don't know. I've been live streaming for like a week straight, and I'm just kind of burned out. I think that's what you do when you first start something new. It's all the novelty at first. It's full of momentum, and then as time goes on, you kind of peter out a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of things I want to share, but
So good.
historical evidence supporting the multidimensional universe. When we look at history, we see that the idea of heaven or non-physical universe is one of the oldest and most widely held beliefs of humanity. The concept of heaven appears in every culture and religion. The Jewish and the Christian religions teach of the existence of three universes or dimensions: the physical world, the heaven, and hell. Which, if you go a little further in your studies, you'll realize that hell is Sheol, which is a place outside of the City of David, a burial place where they burned garbage and did human sacrifice and everything else. And if you study a little bit deeper, you'll realize that there's a good chance you're not going there. Catholicism added a fourth with the concept of purgatory. I would argue about that. I would argue that they try to intermingle hell and purgatory in the same thing. It's interesting when you think about the Catholic Church. It has all these parishes. And it's funny that they have everything they do. I mean, Jesus said, call no man father, so they make sure people call them fathers. Call no man master, call no man rabbi. So what are all these different religions to make sure, especially the Abrahamic religions, that the priestcraft makes sure that they call them a father, a master, or a rabbi. And then on top of that, they have parishes, which goes totally contradiction with John 3:16, which is, gospel of the world, that he gave his begotten Son. Whoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. But that's just the beginning of the multiple, endless contradictions that you will find throughout the Old and New Testament. This comes from a guy who actually believes in Jesus. But the reason why I believe in Jesus is not because of the Bible, which is ironic. Because if I had to depend on the Bible or religion, there's no way I could believe in it. Which is interesting. Which says something about the spiritual realm, about how it influences the intellectual and the physical realm in so many ways. At least that's how I see it. And if you don't agree with me, I totally respect that. Believe me, I do. Anyways, the Catholics added the fourth with the concept of purgatory. In the Quran, Muhammad speaks of 7 heavens or universes. Then it has this image here that you'll never see, but it says Penrose's map of the rotating black hole. A diagram repeats indefinitely to the past and future. The universe outlined outside of the black hole are the white squares, and the universe inside the black holes are the light or dark shaded squares. Then this is all going back to anti-gravity. And then another universe, the anti-gravity.
Can I turn this light off?
Let's see.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard for me to see, but I'll see if I can do it.
Is that harder?
No. Here. Thanks, buddy. What are you trying to do? You trying to sleep?
Yeah.
All right, I'll do my best. All right, buddy? So it got to just going back and forth of anti-gravity universe to another universe, anti-gravity universe to another universe, anti-gravity universe to another universe, black holes, anti-gravity, dark matter. So Muhammad speaks of 7 heavens or universes. In most recent times, a theosophy view developed by Madame Blavatsky, and of course she would be brought up in this now, wouldn't she? Describes 7 dimensions. This concept of 7 dimensions is also incorporated into various New Age philosophies. And when we examine religions and cultures around the world, the concept of unseen heavens and universes of energy is without a doubt the most universal belief of humanity. Today, practically every religion and culture has incorporated this concept. Even though this is likely the most widely held theory in human history, veritable evidence concerning the unseen heavens continues to elude mankind. As you will discover, out-of-body exploration provides powerful personal verification, and that's very important, powerful personal verification, that the religion's heavens described in scriptures of your religion actually do exist. First-hand exploration have proved that the biblical heavens are in reality a magnificent unseen energy environments that make up the multidimensional universe. Energy tunnels. Here we go, the tunnels. Energy tunnels. Additional evidence of the belief of non-physical universes and connecting energy tunnels has been displayed in literature and artwork in various cultures for the past 2,000 years. For example, artists for centuries have portrayed tunnels of energy leading to a radiant new environment or heaven. And Jacob's Ladder is something that comes. When you look up Jacob's Ladders, William Blake. Actually, that might be a good idea. Why don't we do that now? We can use that as an image for this recording. Jacob's Ladder. William Blake, who's very influential in artistry and in imagery and in ideas and concepts, which would be a nice color. Well, we're doing just a kind of bluish theme here, right? Stock. We don't want that. They're always nailing you with that. That's what we'll do. Oh, I don't want that. Jacob's Ladder, and has the spiraling case, the staircase with the angelic who happen to be females, which contradicts a lot of things, but why not? After all, I don't think anybody seems to know what they're talking about, for the most part, when it comes to a lot of this stuff. And saying that, I mean, there's a lot of people that have their own personal experiences. I shouldn't say that. What I'm saying is, I don't know if they know what they're talking about. That's the truth. I don't know. I know what I do know, and even a lot of things I do know I cannot prove to anyone else. Isn't that ironic? But it is the way life is, so this soul trap matrix that we're in, it's... And a lot of people say, there can't be a God. It can't be Jesus. It's part of the trap. You know what? They might be right. My hope is they're not right. And I do know from my spiritual warfare that the name Jesus, whatever it means, is the spiritual realm recognizes it. Now, whether people like to hear that or not, that's a whole nother thing. A whole nother thing. And I think just for the sake of it, well, we don't need to do any of that now, do we? Cool image, though. Oh, let's try that again. I need to eat some healthy food. You know what I'm saying, Chase? Do you, Chase? Do you know what I'm saying? That's right. That's what I thought. That's one way to get your child to sleep is start reading. And while you're at it, you can probably get half the people you listen to asleep, especially someone like me. Damnedest thing. Well, you can't change much in life. Predeterminism does seem to have a significant role in our lives, whether we like it or not. We could argue about it all day and say, no, but how many things have I done in my life I didn't want to do, and how many things I wanted to do never happened? It's almost like you had not much control over it all. So, flick that up. So this in the middle is the William Blake's Jacob's Ladder. Very interesting concept, very interesting painting. He is definitely an influential artist in the alternative artisan world. Anyways, we'll get back to reading here. So, at least now you know. Energy tunnels. When examined religions and cultures around the world, the concept of unseen heavens, universes of energy is without doubt the most universal belief in humanity. Energy tunnels. Additional evidence of the belief of non-physical universes connecting energy tunnels has been displayed in the literature and artwork of various cultures for the past 2,000 years. For example, artists from centuries have portrayed tunnels of energy leading to a radiant new environment or heaven. Dutch painter Hieronymus Bosch, 1460 to 1516. Last name spelled B-O-S-C-H. Hieronymus Bosch, 1460 to 1516, is in his well-known work, The Ascension into the Empyrean, clearly illustrates an individual being escorted through an energy tunnel. At the end of the tunnel is a bright light indicating heaven, high frequency dimensions. Does he have well, what the heck? Let's look that up now too. That's all part of learning, is just not forcing everything. Let's go here. Let's look this dude up. Hieronymus Bosch. The Ascension. Not the Ascension, the Ascent. Did I say Ascension all this time? That's my dyslexia, man. It gets in the way of everything. I read things already in there. It amazes me how it happens too. And ain't not a damn thing I do about it. Empyrean. And now we got a different one. Which one is which? Is that the full one right there? That's the torment of the unchastened priest. Hibernation Bosk. That must be it. Yeah, I guess we'll do that. Then we can put that in that image as well. So now we got even something more to add. Yeah, this is all ad libbing as usual. I wasn't planning on doing this, but like most things, I don't ever plan out too much of anything, so. What shall we do now? So that's what that one, that's the ascent into the Empyrean. Then we can do this. It doesn't take very much imagination to make a simple collage of imagery. We go here. And we go here with the other one, which is Blake's painting, Jacob's Ladder. Nice combination there, huh? And actually, that'd be a kind of nice combination there. Actually, kind of doing this wrong. I think it's go this way. We'll put Blake's picture next. Okay, there's so much stuff. Put Blake's stuff here. And then we'll put the cover for William Buhlman's book. It's a great way to start out, isn't it? Sorry, folks. Am I sorry? I'm not being sorry. Why am I saying I'm sorry? If I was sorry, I would cut all this off, wouldn't I? But I'm not going to cut all this off, so I guess I'm not really sorry. So sorry that I'm not sorry. Sorry for being a jerk, I guess. Sorry for being a jerk. Damn, that's one thing I'm good at, being a jerk. Okay. That's good enough. Too lazy to make it any better. I could make it better. Cancel that. Cancel that again. I hit the wrong button again. Jeez. We'll crop this sucker. And we'll save it. I'll make it for, can't remember what it was. C3? Is that what the right number is? 4C. We'll make it 4C1. Then we'll use that for the new image. So yeah, you know, making these videos doesn't take that much effort. It does, but it doesn't. Anybody can do what I'm doing. Just sharing my journey. Just sharing my journey for whatever it's worth. And if it's not worth anything, I understand that too. Won't hold it against you one bit, one way or the other. Okay. The good thing about this is all free, so you can't really complain about what you paid for. Or you could. Anyways. So right here, this arrow, this is William Blake's famous painting of Jacob's Ladder. This is this one that I didn't know of until now, but there's the tunnel. The tunnel of light. Some people warn not to go into. Some people say, oh yeah, please go into. I have no idea. Anyways, it's the ascent into the Empyrean. And then, of course, then there's Adventures and the Afterlife. Let's get back into this reading. This is the best way to put your son to sleep is start reading. It's amazing what reading can do. It's amazing what reading can do to anybody. The one thing about reading, though, is it's not as passive as listening to a video. So, it may, if it does anything, it will encourage you to read a book. If they're not this book. And if you don't have time to read, then listen. It's better than listening to all the other nonsense out there. So, 2 centuries later, William Blake in 1757 and 1827. Oh, that's how long he lived, from 1757 to 1827. The English poet, mystic, and painter created his masterpiece titled Jacob's Ladder. In his striking watercolor, he portrays human beings and angels moving both upward and downwards towards a brilliant circle or tunnel of light. Makes you wonder. It does make you wonder if in some ways this... Well, first thing that comes to my mind is there's a possibility that this could be some kind of narrative that to funnel us, pun intended, into the funnel, the light. Should we be going into there? You know, we talked last night with my friend Sean Graham, and about the void. He said he didn't really feel anything there. I wonder what that means. It's very complicated, this whole situation. And I hear everybody seems to have the answer. And I can tell you right now, the more and more I study this, I can tell you right now, I do not have the answer to your life. I wish I did. But I'm trying. I'm figuring it out. And in the process, if I figure it out, maybe share it with you. Or maybe you can share with me. There's things we have to talk about. At least some of us have to. Later in the 19th century, here we go again, Gustave Doré in 1823 to 1883 created his famous engraving of Dante and Beatrice as they experience the beatific vision. In graphic detail, he portrays a non-physical tunnel leading to the light. See the frontispiece. Is that what we're looking at right there? Well, let's look this up now. Oh, well, we're not going to get much reading right now. And it is, well, who cares? Okay, let's learn more about another piece of art. Not such a bad deal, isn't it? Okay, Gustav. I guess it's Patrice. Is that, oh, no, that's the most famous one, that's what the name of that picture I see constantly people plagiarizing. Oh, we're all good, pretty good at plagiarizing. Come on. I'm pretty good at it, I can imagine. Well, there you go. And now you can add that to there. The repertoire of images, which is nice to have some repertoire of images, although I'd rather have some real photographic images than paintings. And drawings, you know what I mean? There's only, the problem with paintings and drawings is it's the power of suggestion, which then can also lead to the power of magnification or summoning, or there's some other ways to say it too, which is, potentially dangerous for the individual who's trying to think for themselves. This is true. All right, so we got there. And then now what we could do is we can go here. And we could go here. We can make it quite a collage when it's all said and done. But, what's interesting? We can trade that up, can't we? Or alter it a little bit. So we still have the Adventures from William. The title. So, somebody could do a much better job than this. In fact, I think my son can do a better job than this. But saying that, who cares? I think the point is being made. We see the tunnel light, the spider light. Yes, indeed. That's kind of cool. In a simple way. Be a simple kind of man. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm never going to get around to reading that. There's so many things to read. Have you ever noticed how much stuff there is to read? What the hell? Decline. There's always something showing up. It's not supposed to show up. Gosh darn it. This just went totally chaotic on me. All right. Be a simple kind of man. This guy's so Esoteric Eddie did something. Well, I got 310 subs. I wonder how long that's going to last. I am rich. an eagle feeling. Okay, so anyways, we get back into this. So, okay, so we got Gustav Dori's image of Dante and Beatrice. We have, so that's the one in the middle, the famous one that everyone's seen a million times. We got William Blake's Jacob's Ladder, and then we've got, once again, Hieronymus Bosch, I guess that's how you pronounce it, the name of the author, The Ascent into the Empyrean. Or Empyrean. That's what it is. Empyrean. Yes, you're probably smarter than me. I believe there's a starting connection and is apparent. I believe a startling connection is apparent. The energy tunnels depicted in Bosch, Blake, and Dory, Einstein and Rosen, and the energy conduits outlined in this book are all descriptions of the same event. A energy tunnel connecting the physical dimension with the non-physical counterpart. Now I have to show you videos of that or images of that. Well, an easy way to go about this is just to draw it real fast, so that you know what I'm talking about. And once you see it, you go, "Oh, okay, duh. I knew that." And yes, you did. And you probably knew, and you know it better than I do. So anyway, so the energy conduit. Of course, we had this famous thing of the square. We have the famous cube thing. Then we have a circular hole in the middle. And then we have this, and so here's you have this whole idea. This is the tunnel. All right, this represents the square represents space. This is the visible physical universe. The energy tunnel observes during near-death experience. The radiate higher frequency environment would be the energy membrane. The energy membrane. Ooh. This would be that, the outside. Membrane. Right? And that's energy, which is electricity, something of some nature. The truth is, energy is a vague term. At times. It's the tunnel opening, right? Opening. Sorry for the spelling. I had a hard enough time just with a pencil and paper. Now imagine someone like me then. So that's supposed to be an opening. Space, then there's a tunnel opening through a white hole to the parallel non-physical universe. The radiant energy frequency. So we have If we were to, let's see if I can pull this off. Boom. 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 So that's the white hole. All right. And then it goes, or the light that people talk about so much. And then we have, where's the dark space here in all this? And then it goes through a white hole to the parallel non-physical universe. So this would probably be in the box. Would be, if I got this right. So the energy membrane. Inside the cube is the visible or space, the visible physical universe. Then you have the black. This is the black hole. The tunnel opening through a white hole to a parallel non-physical universe. The first inner non-physical dimension. Energy tunnel opens during near-death experience. So, what the hell? We'll just do that. I think that's what we're talking about here. Oops. That didn't work out right. And I'm sure there's a better, far superior drawing somewhere. I'm sure. Well, I know there is. I'm looking at one right now. So, anyways, which is not mine. Anyways, hey. Hey. So this is the whole idea. It goes in there. And of course, then you have this. I shouldn't say of course, but anyways. I wonder if I can close it without ruining that. Let's see what happened here. Wrong color. Something like that. $4 worth. Let's get back to reading. Anyways, additional evidence of this. There's always somebody to do a million times better. Count on that. So, additional evidence for this belief is provided by millions of near-death experiences reported worldwide in the last 20 years. One of the most fascinating aspects of near-death accounts is their vivid description of a tunnel leading towards a bright light or a new environment. According to the extensive studies conducted by Raymond Moody and Melvin Morse and Kenneth Ring and other physicians, this description of an energy tunnel leading to a bright light is reported in every culture and country of the world. Really? I'd love to see a book on that one. I ain't going to take that until I see something with proof on that one. Notice the similarity between Einstein and Rosen's bridge. See illustration page 80, which you cannot see, but I'll look. to remind myself, and basically it's the same thing, what I draw there without the box, or the cube. So you got the time flow, it goes down the tunnel. I guess we go back here. Who would ever thought this was going to end up with being a damn quantum physics course? Well, it turned out to be. Anyways, so this is, we got this whole thing. And this is time. Flow. And then, of course, the outside of this part right here is still space. And then you have this, the wormhole bridge, is what this is. So this part is the wormhole bridge, and it goes from one place to another. And it's the visible physical universe. And then we go into this wormhole bridge through the black hole, which is weird. They say it's a black hole, but I don't know how that can be, but it wants to say it is. So then there's, it's like this, and I probably totally butchered this, and if I did, I did. It's just, anyway, it's just somebody else's conception. By the way, this doesn't mean this is truth, it just means somebody else's conception, so that's all it means. Wow, got suckered on that one, man, and did not finish it up. Oh, we're still going to do it. Alright, so there you go. So as it goes the opening. So basically, you go there. You go through here. Then let's say we, just for the sake of it, go to here, come around, go back around. Or it could be this way. Something like that. Is that accurate? Doesn't matter. The idea is what matters. Right? Okay. Additional evidence of the World War at last 20 years. Okay. Additional evidence of this belief. Remember, evidence for this belief. Belief. Knowing versus belief. Belief is provided by millions of near-death experiences reported worldwide in the last 20 years. One of the most fascinating aspects of near-death experience accounts is their vivid description of a tunnel leading towards a bright light or a new environment, according to extensive studies conducted by Raymond Moody, Melvin Morris, Kenneth Ring, and other physicians. This description of energy tunnel leading to a bright light is reported in every culture and country. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Then we're looking at the Einstein-Rosen bridge. Observations obtained during controlled out-of-body exploration suggest that the tunnel of light is the opening of the non-physical energy membrane. Insane in the membrane. Separating the physical dimension from its parallel non-physical neighbor. The energy tunnel commonly observed during near-death experience is actually a highly organized temporary opening or rift in the non-physical energy membrane and appears to open automatically to allow life forms to pass through. I shouldn't be act like I'm kind of, disinterested in this, because I'm not. This explains a lot about what happens with people. Light spectrum, what's happening, and how these entities are going from one dimension to another, how something shows up one moment and disappears the next, whether it's alien like UFOs, orbs, Bigfoot, Dogman, all these other cryptids, entities, spirits of all sorts and shapes. I believe this is all interconnected, right? We're talking about the same damn thing, one way or the other. Then, of course, there's the whole reincarnation thing, and okay, the energy tunnel commonly observed during the near-death experience is actually a highly organized temporary opening or rift in the non-physical energy membrane and appears to open automatically to allow life forms to pass through. After the life form or consciousness passes within the high-frequency energy dimension, the tunnel opening immediately returns to its original shape and form. The tunnel experience is much more significant than most people realize or recognize. Not only does it provide substantial evidence of a logical transitional method for consciousness after physical death, but it directly relates to the modern physics theories concerning parallel universes and energy wormholes, as well as to my observations concerning the multidimensional universe. The time has come for modern science to investigate this reality. Millions of near-death or out-of-body experiences occurring in every culture and society in the world cannot be a coincidence. In addition, the countless reports of energy tunnels reaching back 500 years can no longer be overlooked. The scientific investigation of the parallel non-physical energy dimensions and their tunnel openings will be a major step forward in modern science, for it will light the way to the true comprehension of our multidimensional universes. This is extremely important, and I'm going to read these last two chapters again. Just observations for my own sake. Observations obtained during the controlled out-of-body explorations suggest that the tunnel of light is the opening of a non-physical energy membrane, separating the physical dimension from its parallel non-physical neighbor. The energy tunnel commonly observed during the near-death experience is actually a highly organized temporary opening, and or rift in the non-physical energy membrane, and appears to open automatically to allow life forms to pass through. After the life form consciousness passes within the high-frequency energy dimension, the tunnel opening immediately returns to its original shape and form. The tunnel experience is much more significant than most people recognize. Not only does it provide substantial evidence of a logical transitional method for consciousness after physical death, but it directly relates to the modern physics theories concerning parallel universes and energy wormholes, as well as my observations concerning the multidimensional universe. Millions of near-death or out-of-body experiences occurring in every culture and society of the world cannot be a coincidence. In addition, the countless reports of energy tunnels reaching back 500 years can no longer be overlooked. Scientific investigation of the parallel non-physical energy dimensions and their tunnel openings will be a major step forward in modern science, for it will light the way to a true comprehension of our multidimensional universe, a remarkable new view of the universe. As scientists continue to focus on the external matter, another group of people have fearlessly explored the very heart of the universe. Bypassing the traditional scientific methods, they have ventured far beyond the limits of our current technological evolution and expanded human exploration into undiscovered areas of the universe. This can be achieved by incorporating a revolutionary new form of investigation, self-controlled, non-physical exploration into the unseen structure of the universe. The discovery made during these non-physical explorations provided revolutionary new insights into the unseen structure of the universe, our existence, and our continuation after life. Based on out-of-body observations, all energy dimensions exist here and now, and the seen and unseen universe is a continuum of energy frequencies. Each dimension exists independently according to its own individual frequency, yet they are all linked by the flow of non-physical energy. Each dimension of energy is interconnected with its energy neighbors to form a complete system, the multidimensional universe. The eminent physicist David Bohm was absolutely correct when he observed that, quote, reality is an undivided whole, end of quote. Wow. Anyways, this David Bohm, it's B-O-H-M. Reality is an undivided whole. And then there's a drawing here that says, our universe is not what it appears to be. Visible stars, dust, gas clouds, cosmic debris make up less than 10% of the mass of the scientists know as present. Astronomers, astrophysicists, and physicists are currently hard at work searching for unseen energy to support our galaxy and our physical universe. Theories that somehow magically negate, of all things, these things. But that's the damnedest thing. Even the images of these things are wrong, because the images of these things come in all shapes and sizes, and it's a damn freak show. But we can't talk about any of that because that gets too close to things like God and spirits and angels, and for real. Commonly referred to as heaven by the early out-of-body explorers. And then it talks to the physical universe, the first energy membrane, the second energy membrane, the second energy dimension or level. So there's the physical universe, then we go from there to the first energy membrane, then the second energy dimension or level, the third energy dimension, thought energy dimension, subconscious thought energy dimension, and unexplored source energy. And I will not put you through me doing a drawing, although I could. But I'll tell you what I'll do. If I can think about it and I get motivated to do it, I'll do a drawing sometime. Has anybody paid attention to this recording? I have my son this weekend, so I don't. The only reason I'm doing this is just to get him to go to sleep, and I've been up all night for a week, so every night for a week. Based on out-of-body observations, all energy dimensions exist here now, and seen and unseen universe is a continuum of energy frequency. Each dimension exists independently according to its individual frequency, yet they are all linked by the flow of non-physical energy. Each dimension of energy is interconnected with its energy neighbors to form a complete system. The multi-dimensional universe, then it goes through the, talking about David Bowen, was absolutely correct when he observed reality is an undivided whole. The entire multi-dimensional frequency universe is an inseparable whole. There exists no spatial or temporal separation. Bowman was decades ahead of his time when he said, one is led to a new notion of unbroken wholeness which denies the classical analyzability of the world into separately and independently existing parts. The inseparable quantum interconnection of the whole universe is a fundamental reality. Forget all your spatial concepts of up and down and near and far. The entire multidimensional universe is here and now. The closest physical concept that describes the structure of the universe is degree of density. Each dimension encountered after we shed the physical body is progressively less dense in its vibrational substance. In effect, the universe can be compared with an energy wave spectrum of incomparable depth and beauty. Each frequency of energy spectrum is experienced and observed by us as a separate and distinct dimension, yet all are interconnected to form a magnificent universe extending beyond space, form, and substance as we perceived it. If you hear what's being read here, and then you go back to what's being pushed right now with the flat earth, round earth, the globular earth, heliocentric model, the geocentric model, the flat earth model, blah, blah, blah. And then you read this and you realize, well, there's a good chance that everything that we think, first of all, I've never seen this earth. I'm just being dead honest with you. And I can do that because I got nothing to lose. I could care less what anybody thinks of me. So I have never seen this place from high, hundreds of miles in the sky or thousands of miles in space to know what this place looks like. I have no idea. I have to put my trust in a group of people that I don't trust. Therefore, I will not put my trust in those people I do not trust, because that would be not very logical for me to put my trust in somebody I do not trust. And so I have to make the decision. Do I blindly once again follow another group of yahoos telling me this is the truth? Again? No. I don't have to. I can just say, you know what? I don't know. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's the most honest answer there is. Don't need another belief system in my life to clutter up my life. That's just how I see it, for what it's worth. Anyways, let's get back to this thing. We read that, I read that. I always, when I start talking, I lose my place. In effect, the universe can be compared to an energy wave spectrum of incomparable depth and beauty. Each frequency of energy spectrum is experienced and observed by us as a separate and distinct dimension. Yet all are interconnected to form a magnificent universe extending beyond space, form, and substance as we perceive it. Out-of-body exploration provides startling new evidence that the universe is a multidimensional continuum of energy emanating from a non-physical source. The physical galaxy we observe around us are merely the dense molecular crust of a complete universe. Comparing the existence of the multidimensional universe is difficult because our current perceptions of time and space and reality offer inaccurate reference points, of course. And many of us, including myself, are still living on this assumptions and theories from 100 years ago. Some that have never been proven yet or been proven to be wrong. And the new, we just get this spoonful fed into this thing called quantum physics. And let's be honest, most of us don't even know what the hell that means. Well, we pretend we do, but we really don't have no clue what that means. We believe we do. What I hear, from what I'm seeing, the new physics is more in line with the old physics and mysticism and alchemy and the interaction of the spiritual realm, otherwise known as sorcery. For better or worse, and people can say everything they want about magicians and witches and all that kind of stuff, but the head magician was Daniel in the book of Daniel. Can't get around that. So in one breath, the Old Testament say it's terrible to be doing this. The next breath, the people that are telling you it's terrible to do are the ones doing it. Something to think about. All the energy dimensions exist simultaneously within space, same space-time continuum. For example, when I am out of body, I can occupy the same space as a physical wall or ceiling. I am not separated from the physical wall by distance, but rather by my individual energy frequency. This recognition leads us to an exciting new adventure. That's a good place to start. It's going to take a long time to read this part 3. There's a lot of, I think, are pretty heavy stuff. And somehow, some way, we have to connect the heavy stuff. It's not even the heavy math. Just imagine doing the math. Just imagine doing the math. Good God, somebody doing the math on this stuff? You're more than a genius. You're going to be damn possessed. Anyways, we get this stuff and can see how we compare this with what's going on, not only outer body experiences and near-death experiences, but now we're going to start to understand like quantum Bigfoot, right? Or quantum Sasquatch, or UFOs and orbs and all that, because it's all connected. You know what I mean? And so, how do you visualize this stuff? You can only consume so many scary stories, and then you have to say, listen, I seen what I seen. I need better answers than the scary story. There's a lot of people who want the scary story, but a lot of people feed off that. A lot of people want to feed you with that. You know what I mean? People that want to explore the truth and talk about it, you're not going to have too many friends or too many followers. That's the way it goes. So what do you want and how much of truth do you want? That's what it comes down to. So, okay, another reading in the Adventures in the Afterlife. Now, I know you say, man, can't you do about anything else? I tell you what, it's kind of pointless to go any further, in my mind, as far as talking about Buhlman, Bigfoot, aliens, all these other things, without understanding this stuff. It's fruitless. because they're all interconnected. So you can't just, you could specialize all day long and memorize every scary story there ever was about Bigfoot. And what good is it going to do? Outside of making you a popular internet celebrity. I mean, even when when you really break it down, what does that really mean? A few thousand followers? Maybe? And you can't even call them that. There are 3,000 people that come and go. I was loving this. Somebody was talking about fans. I think it was David Pilates was talking about that Steve from How to Hunt, right? And either Pilates was calling the people that follow him on the YouTube his fans, or Steve was calling it that. And then, like, you guys got to have your head so full up your butts, you don't even have to. They're not your fans. Out of that 100,000 or 400,000 people. And here's Steve Pilates bitching and belly aching about too. He says, "Yeah, these 400 and some thousand people that follow me on YouTube only got 1/10 of the people that have bought my video." Well, from what I've seen in the video, honestly, you're better off just to wait. He ain't gonna share you too much. Nothing except more storytelling. That's what it comes down to. I mean, if you want that for your record of storytelling, that's great. It's not that great. It's not really all that great, to be honest with you. I first watched the first. Now, some people say otherwise, but I only watched the first 10 minutes and I got bored. I mean, I was bored out of my skull. Each and everyone's different. I guess everybody's person's different. I'm sure that my stuff is extremely boring for 99.9% of the world. That's fine. I'm not asking for your money, and I'm not making you feel guilty if you don't send me money. But they call the people on that are your subscribers on YouTube as your fans. You're totally disconnected. Just totally disconnected from reality at that point. Nobody of the 310 people that follow me in their God-given free time are my fans. And when I had thousands, I never considered them as my fans. They're my fellow human beings searching for the truth. Never my fans. And whenever I hear somebody say that, that person has lost their perspective and their bearings. And their ego is so big that if they treat somebody else as their fan, and or encourage it, that other people would see them as their fan, they've lost the plot completely. Or there's more going on than meets the eye. But the last thing I ever want in my life, and I've been a musician and an artist and all sorts of things, is to have someone come up to me and tell me they're my fan. And if someone say, I appreciate what you're doing, that'd be nice. Or I value what you're doing. Or I remember you. That'd be cool. Or even how are you doing would be even nicer. But a fan? I'm sorry. And these characters, they have no problem showing their mug all the time long. Every single recording, it's nothing but their mugs. Right there tells me if somebody says all they're ever doing is showing their mugs, their face, their ego's so damn big that that's what they really want. Because there's a million other things that could be shown while you're reading an email or reading a story. And one of the things, you could show some other images. Or maybe you could show some pictures or photos. Or maybe you could show some, something else besides people just fool themselves. It's just amazing. I think we all are, some level or another, including myself. Of course I want attention, just like everyone else. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if I didn't want attention, right? Hopefully I'm doing it in a healthy way in which I'm growing, and anybody else who wants to join in my journey, they are growing. Right? Fans. I swear there's never ending, one more thing after another, one thing after another. Just as it's like the connection is the look. Money will blind you. There's no one who's exempt from it. Nobody, including me. Money will blind you from pursuing the truth. It will stop you. It will become a snare. I'm not saying it's wrong to make money, but you have to be honest in where you're at and who you are. Right? If I knew I was going to make $100,000 a year, or even $50,000 a year, doing this, I would do everything in my power to make sure that next year there was another 50,000 showing up, which means I would compromise the truth, which means the past 2.5 years I wouldn't have been telling the truth. Right? But it was because people like me who did tell the truth and bit the bullet that allowed people today now who don't have that much courage to actually start telling the truth. And you see all these channels with their millions of subs and all this kind of stuff, right? And they consider their subscribers fans. Remember that they waited a long time before they opened up their mouth. They made sure a whole bunch of us paid the price before they did. Always remember that. No, I don't want anybody to be my fan. Friends, yes. Fellow researchers, yes. Fellow inquirers of the truth, yes. Fellow human beings, yes. Fans? You can stick that into the sun don't shine for all I care.
If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind.